Hi guys and welcome back to today's battle report. The Orks have taken over following our victory against them blue biggies. We've been partying so hard that we've woken up some sleeping Necrons. Ain't that cute? Anyway, this game is called Seek or Sabotage. I'll let Joe explain a little bit more. Oi, Joe! Get here!
Oh, hi. Yeah, hi. Thanks, Asbog Snaznacker, for introducing today's battle report.
No problem.
So, as he said, it's called Seek or Sabotage. So the idea is there are 3 objective markers that you can score on, and there are 2 burner objectives that you can also score on. So I'll explain what the burner objectives are in a second because they're slightly different rules. So the center objective marker is worth 15 victory points, and you can spend 2 command points to sabotage that objective marker so the enemy can't score in their turn. So essentially you score at the start of your command phase. Now the idea behind this is, let's say Chris has got 1 Necron warrior left on the battlefield, and he can see that Azza has got a huge horde heading towards him, and he knows full well that warrior is not going to survive, so he can spend 2 command points to deny Azza from scoring on that objective marker. Okay?
No, don't like that.
So the other thing that you've got is objective markers within the enemy deployment zone. So the objective marker that's in Azza's deployment zone, Azza cannot score on it, but Chris can. So the idea is that you run across the battlefield, you get as fast as possible into the enemy deployment zone, okay? But there's a twist. The enemy sees you coming, so they quickly sabotage it, and they stick a load of dynamite or something that explodes under there.
Some squeakies in that.
The idea is that Chris runs across, he grabs the objective, but it explodes. So you score 10 victory points still.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's a D6 range that does D6 mortal wound, but only Chris's models are affected within that range, not Az's. Clear as mud? Good. Okay, so the burner objectives do 1 of D6 special abilities, which are on the screen at the moment. They score 5 victory points when the player touches them or enters within 3 inches of the objective marker. It burns up, it disappears off the battlefield, and no one can score or touch it or activate it again. Done. Okay? Got it? Good. So, recap, middle objective marker, 15 victory points, can be sabotaged to deny somebody from scoring on it. There are objective markers within the deployment zones that can only be scored by the enemy, and they explode, boom. And then the burner objective markers do some special abilities. Okay? Clear as mud. Got it? Good. Let's have a look at the armies now. Awesome.
So starting with the Necrons, we've got 755 points of a mythic dynasty. Vanguard detachment, and we've paid for a few upgrades as well, so let's see what we're starting with. Going on to the starting here, then we have a Plasmancer taking up a dynastic advisor slot, which means that I can bring him additionally. He hasn't got any extra upgrades. He's got dynastic advisors, Hairbringer of Destruction, and Living Lightning as some abilities. Going across, we've got an Overlord on the far side there, which we have spent a command point for, and I believe he's our Warlord, and we've paid for Sempiternal Wave, which adds 1 to the toughness and wounds characteristic of the bearer. And we also have My Will Be Done, Relentless March Aura, and Phase Shifter, with a Warlord trait of Merciless Tyrant, adding 1 to the strength and attacks characteristic of this Warlord. So we've got quite the upgrade on him. Into the middle, we've got our Technomancer, which has a cloak, and we've also taken on Fail-Safe Overcharger, which I believe is one of the Arker's abilities. We'll go with that. We've got Rites of Reanimation, Dynastic Advisors come to cloak. Looking back, we've got 20 warriors, and they have got the Gas Reaper, which is the 12-inch range with the Assault 2, minus 2 AP, 1 damage. Going back into the over far side, we've got our Crypto Thrills. So these are basically our bodyguards for one of our HQs here. They've not got any extra abilities. Bound Creation, Protectors, and Seismic Vigor. We've got some flayed ones coming in, nice, which have got the flesh hunger and the terrifying foes. And then heading to the back, we've got our Scorpec destroyers. So we've got one unit that has a little plasma sight with it. We're taking up a battle roster free slot, and then we've got one that hasn't got it. And that is our 755 points of Necrons. Looking to give out some pain.
So we have here 755 points of Bad Moon's Orks. We've got a spearhead detachment led by our war boss at the front in mega armour. His name is Asbog Snazdaka. He has the brutal but cunning warlord trait, which means that any of his attacks that don't go through to the damage sequence go back to the hit sequence and start again.
Ooh.
And he also has the crushing armour, which is the 4+ invul save, gives D3 mortal wounds on a charge, and also adds 1 to saving throws. Then we have our weird boy on the left. His name is Grumchuk Zapdaka, and he has 2 abilities, Da Jump and Da Crunch, and then Smite as well. Going backwards, we've got the Killer Cans. So they're just a normal squad of Killer Cans. So they have the Grotzuka, the rocket launcher, and a big shooter, and all armed with can claws. On the right of that, we've got the Mega Knobs. So that's headed by Boss Knob Buzzcrump, and he's flanked by 2 guys with both kill saws. Behind him, we have a traditional Death Dread with 2 big shooters and 2 Dread Claws, and then behind him we've got an entirely melee Death Dread, so that's our little Dread mob. And then finally we have the Deathcopters. One at the front has the custom Mega Blaster and Da Big Bomb. The Deathcopters are also upgraded with Flyboys ability, so they have an ability where if you shoot at them from 6 inches away or more, then they act as if they're in light cover. And then the 2 Death Dreads both have some custom upgrades. One of them has Orkimatic Pistons, which gives him an extra 3 inches movement, and the other one has Shocker Hull, which does D3 mortal wounds if you attack him.
So, this is today's Battlefield. It's brought to you by myself, Joe, Azza, and Chris. We collaboratively built it together. We want to make something cool and wonderful for you guys to watch, and obviously for us to play. So, the Orcs have won against the Ultramarines, and they have been singing glorious songs of their victory. They've sung that loud that they've woken up some sleeping Necrons, and they are annoyed, and they're going to destroy the Orcs, hopefully, maybe, find out. Basically, 3 objective markers. So the first one is in the centre there, worth 15 victory points. Then 1 in each deployment zone, so that is Chris's deployment zone, and the other side is Az's deployment zone. They are worth 10 victory points each, with some special rules on each of those 3. Then there are 2 burner objective markers, which have got special rules. All of the rules are at the beginning of the video. Just scroll back and have a little look if you want. The terrain has been painted by myself and by Chris, and it's Games Workshop with some custom stuff on there, like the Fallen Dreadnought and the Storm Speeder, Land Speeder, the destroyed one there, that's kit bashed. So, if you want to know anything about the terrain, just leave a comment below, and we shall try our best to remember. Okay? Oh, and the maps are from GameMap.eu. Go check them out, they're amazing. Okay, cool, right, let's roll off.
Ooh. And the Necrons take turn
2.
Turn 2, okay. We'll be back after Chris's.
No, after Azza has.
Oh, yeah, after Azza has.
Move the troops! Okay, so the Orcs have pushed forward. I've moved everything up as much as I possibly can. The Deathcopters are now on the objective. And to point out, I didn't say before, but the Killer Cans are currently in the teleporter, so they're going to drop down at a later date. I think because of the rules of the objectives, we're going to roll to see exactly what this does to these guys right now.
Yeah, so this is one of the burner objectives, so it's like a secondary objective if you like.
And we've got a handy chart up there.
You probably can't see.
Yeah, we've got a handy chart, so we know what it's going to do. It's going to do something crazy. So I'm going to roll a d6 and see what we get. Ready? Here we go. Nervous. What could it be? It's a 5.
So 5. So you get to advance
And
So-
shoot.
and
no
shoot
penalty.
with no penalty. So they can move them d6 inches further forward, and they can then shoot like normal. So essentially they've advanced and they can shoot again.
If I try and get out of the range of my everything.
So we're just saying that even though Azza had already advanced those, he gets an additional bonus move because obviously the burn objective has allowed him to then move another 6 inches, but he can't do anything else because he'd already advanced them. Is that right?
Yes, I have used the advance, and the copters have an ability called that big red button, which means you automatically advance 6 inches. So I use that to its full ability.
Perfect.
Do we want to roll for this one?
So you
I'd
need.
say if he's got that big red button, then no.
Is hitting the big red button twice?
Yeah.
Auto 6 advance?
You wouldn't be able to do that with a non-auto button red advance, but you've already advanced them, so you've added the 6 inches already, haven't you, to their base movement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we did the
To get here.
Now
yeah.
he's got the bonus.
Now you've got the bonus. You can then do a D3 move. You could either move into the centre, closer, or back up a bit.
I would say no. I would say if you've got an ability that basically just says you do maximum advance, you should still get that rule again. If a different unit had landed on it, it'd be a different story.
Yeah, the rule literally says each time the model advances, do not make a roll instead until the end of the phase. Add 6 to the move characteristic.
Yeah, and you've already done that, but we're not advancing.
No, but it's saying each time. Yeah, that's what he basically said. It's a bonus advance. It's a bonus advance.
It's just a bonus movement. Yeah, alright, move 6 inches.
Okay.
If it was any other unit, roll a d6, but because it was the Deathcopters that have that ability, they just get to redo that ability. Makes sense. Narratively wise, makes sense. And this is a narrative game right now. It's definitely not match play.
I would agree.
I don't know why I've just filmed all of that. I filmed it. There you go.
It's good to get a bit, so.
Okay. Okay, so the Deathcopters have done their cheeky bonus advance that way, so now they're within range of that objective, but see, it's turn 1. Psychic phase. Weird Boy is going to cast Da Jump on the Death Dread, jump him forward. So this goes off on a 7. And it's a 7. Okay, so the Death Dread has jumped forward. We're going to do the D6 surprise roll to see what the objective's going to do before it disappears. A 3. So that means you can recover D3 mortal wounds. Oh, just D3 wounds.
You haven't lost any.
You haven't lost any.
That's fine.
But you still get the 5 victory points. Whoop, whoop.
Okay.
So we're back.
We are back. So next step is we're going to fire the custom Mega Blaster, because that's an assault weapon, at the Necron Warriors. The Mega Blaster is an assault D3, so this is for shots. It's 3 shots.
We're just going to say, because we're not too sure, because these guys are vehicles, do they suffer the penalty for the -1 to their hit rolls when they assault? We're not too sure. We're going to play it as yes, because obviously Azza's had the ability to move across. So
Yeah, we've had a few bonuses so far, but that means he's hitting on 6s.
oof.
It's Orks. 1 hit goes through. Okay, so just checking the rules, that was a blast weapon anyway, so it would have done 3 hits regardless.
So you roll 3 then.
Yeah.
I did roll 3 anyway. So
Okay.
and I got 1 6.
Okay.
So now 1 hit goes through, and so it's strength 8, toughness 4, so it's wounded on 2s. 1. Okay.
Yes.
Right, next one, the Death Dread is going to do some shots with his big shooters. Okay, so he's got a Daka 5-3 weapon. He's not within heart range, so each one of those 2 shooters is doing 3 shots with a ballistic skill of 5+. Okay, so that is a wounding on 3s because it's strength 5, toughness 4. That wounds.
Saving throw 4. Shrugged.
And finally, the Mega Knob with a rocket launcher is going to fire at the Necron Warriors all the way up the board. He's moved, so that's -1 to hit. But first, it's a heavy D3, so it's doing 3 shots. And it's hitting on 6s. That's 1. Strength 8 wounded on 2s. Just wounds.
AP minus, saving throw of 4, AP minus 2 makes a saving throw of 6. 4, so it didn't land. Is that the end of your shooting profile with that?
Yes, it is.
Okay, reanimation protocol. Didn't land, so.
There's 3 wounds.
That's fine, I've already got 1.
And that's the end of Orcs turn 1.
On to Necrons.
Turn 1. And we're back after command phase, and I have move the troops! Okay, so we have move the troops! So we've pushed everything forward, as you can see here, and we're just trying to bring some bits into battle just for a bit of fun. So, on to shooting. I'm going to start with my Overlord. I'm going to use my Tachyon Arrow, not Truncheon, it's Tachyon Arrow, and we're going to target this big boy right here. So it's an assault weapon, so I could have advanced him, but, you know, I did a joke and didn't. My ballistic skill is a 2+. So it's landed. My strength is 12.
Toughness 7.
So I'm hitting on 3s. Roll a 6. It's -5 armor piercing.
Can't do that.
Can't save it.
No.
It's D6 wounds. So I'm hoping to get that 6 again now. Oh, 4. I'll take that. So that's 4 wounds, please.
With Ramshackle, that takes it to 3.
Ah,
It's not too bad.
not too bad. It's not as good as it could have been, but it's also not too bad. Okay, my warriors are going to target this tin can over here.
This dancing tin can,
So
look.
thank you to the Mephiric dynasty gives me the extra 3 inches, so everyone's in range. The rapid, it's the assault 2. I thought it was rapid fire, but it's not. It's assault 2. So that's 40 shots coming in, hitting on 3s. Nice.
It's a lot. That's a lot that you've rolled there, dude.
Thank you. Although I hope I'm not just getting them all out of the system now, because I need the higher dice rolls now, because I think I'm hitting on 5s, aren't I? My strength is 5, your toughness is
7.
So now I'm going to be hitting on 5s, so this is where I want the 5s and 6s. Yeah, that's good. So we only landed 5 out of all of those, so I got all the good rolls out of the way too early. It's AP -2.
Saving on 5s. Only 1 saved.
Ooh.
And how many damage is that?
It's just 1 damage.
So it's down to 4.
Ooh.
This one.
So that's over here.
Tell a lie.
Down to 4.
Funky boy. Although he looks like he's...
Softened him up quite nicely, ready for these coming in. It's not bad.
Well, it looks like he's avoided a fair few shots, or he's avoiding a fair few shots.
He's dancing out of the way.
Whoa.
It's making the ground really hot.
I have my D3 wounds back now, please.
No.
So my Plasmancer is going to fire into the Deathcopters. Do I have to subtract 1 from my hit roll for flying? I've got 1.
No, he's not a flyer.
Oh, okay.
They've got that fly boys thing, which means that they're effectively in light cover. So that's just AP.
That's 1 to your saving throw, isn't it?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. So it's a D3. So it's assault D3. So we'll do that roll now. So that's 2. So 2 shots going in. Ballistic skills of 3. Took 1, took 1 as it were. And then the strength of that 7. Your toughness is
5.
5. So wounded on 3s. Got a 6. And then we've got -3 AP, so that'll drop down to -2 AP.
So that's saving on 6s. Come on, Orkies. No.
And it's 2 damage.
Down to 1 damage.
Nice. Softened up. And then the Staff of Light is going to shoot into the Copters too. So it's for a fly thing, and there's a clear line of sight from model head. So it's an assault 3, ballistic skills of 3. So 2 went through. So we're spending 1 command point on techno-ocular targeting, which allows one of those shots to automatically wound, basically, for the command point. So we'll put 1 to one side, and then we'll do the strength 3 toughness. So the strength of the staff light is 5, toughness on those 5, so wounded on a 4, and it went through as well. So that's 2 that have gone through. It's AP -2.
So that's saving on 5s.
So we've got 5.
I thought I'd pause that, didn't I?
Saving on 5s. Over it. Oh, both fail.
It's only 1 damage each.
Okay. Ooh.
So it's that 1 down and 1.
It's down to 1 left.
Okay, so that's the end of my shooting phase. So we're going to go on to charging. So let's declare some charges. These destroyers are going to charge into this tin can here. We've got these destroyers are going to attempt to charge in over here as well. And I think that will be all the charging that will get done this turn. Successfully got in here. Unfortunately, despite me spending the command point on a command reroll, still failed. So we're just going on to fighting. So going on to the attacks, we'll do the big blade first. So that's the hyperphase root blade. So that's 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. Rerolling the 1s for destroyers. Didn't make a difference.
Destroying the tree.
Destroying the tree. Strength of that is 7. Toughness is
5. No, 7. 7, sorry.
7. So wounded on 4s. 1 went through. -4 AP. So down to 1 wound.
Yep, can't save it. So 3 damage. And down to 2 wounds because of ramp check.
Right, so we've now got the 2 with the thrashers, so they make 1 additional attack, so that's 8 hit attacks coming in now. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s. So strength on those is a 5, toughness is 7. Okay, so wounding on 5s. Ooh, only 1 went through.
Saving on a 6. Doesn't save.
And that's 2 damage, so down to 1 damage.
Oh, he's on 1 left.
Hanging in there.
The destroyers that have managed to cut through so many units like butter didn't manage because it's all rusty and it's just caught, snagged on everything, and they're like, oh, bollocks.
Hanging on by a single bolt.
I think I shall call him Clanker.
Clanker.
Okay, so as Chris said to me earlier, you're not going to like this. He's got 3 attacks, but he's got an extra attack for every dread claw he's got, and he's got 4. So he's doing 7 attacks on weapon skill 3+. Oh, that is bad. Oh, that is really bad.
Do you think that when we say you're not going to like this, the dice got to go, really?
I think so.
Command reroll, is that the whole lot, or is it
No,
just one of
it's
the
just
dice?
one.
Attack.
What did you say?
I'm going to command reroll one of them.
Okay.
It could make the difference.
Good.
Fingers crossed. It
Oh,
did.
Okay, so this guy, his claws are strength ×2, so that's strength 10.
Toughness is 5.
So wounded on 2s. Oh. So that's AP -3.
So I can shrug it off on 6s, so let's give it a try. Oh, can I add them together to shrug one off?
That's 3 damage each.
Oh dear, that's 2 dead. There's 2 dead. So let's lose the thrashers. And we'll keep the blade because there's a bit more of it.
That's the end of my attack, so do you have any reanimation?
I can try and reanimate them. So 3s. So I'll do it here. So reanimating. So I need at least 3. Oh, look how close that is. Can I do a...
Oh no, you can't command. You can't re-roll a failed. And that was Winter's, wasn't it?
yeah, it's reroll 1s on warriors. But if I did, can I do a command reroll because I'm in a different phase? If I did a command reroll for charging,
I think it's different phases, isn't it?
I think you can do it in different phases.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I know it's one roll
Can
per.
I re-roll one of these?
Yeah, go for it. Have you got the command points?
I've got one left. I'm just trying to think if it's worth it.
We'll ask the audience watching.
No, it's not worth it.
No?
No.
Okay. Actually, let's not ask the audience because 10th edition is coming out soon and they're probably going to scrap the whole thing.
Okay, so that's the end of Necron's turn 1. On to
Orks turn 2.
You'll be right back after you've.
Okay, so after the first turn, the Orks have taken a bit of a beating, and now in the command phase, they have called the Wow! So everything's a little bit more dangerous now. First port of call is, you'll notice these guys haven't moved. The Death Dread has moved up the field. This guy's locked in combat. The Death Copters have moved beyond these guys. That's so they can use their big bomb. And the Killer Cans have used their teleporter and they've landed and they've got their sights set on the objective. Okay, so the Death Copters have gone straight across these guys and they've used the big bomb, so they're dropping a bomb right here. And anything within 3 inches of that point, you have to roll 1d6 for each unit. On a 4+, that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. But for characters, you subtract 1, so that's a 5+ for characters.
Cool.
So we're going to say for the Scorpec Destroyers, 4+.
So 6.
Okay. Shall we just do all the hits first and then the wounds?
Yeah.
The barrels on legs.
Yeah.
It's got him. And the HQ man. No. Okay, so it's D3 mortals for the Scorpex. Only one.
One wound left.
Only one wound.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
D3.
Sorry. 2 wounds left.
Okay.
On a thrasher.
And the barrels. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
2 wounds on the barrels.
2 wounds on the barrels. So 2 wounds means he's dead. And I don't think I could do reanimation protocols because I can't normally for warriors. I know it's something that with mortal wounds, so we'll say not.
One to ask the viewers, I'd say.
Yep, comments in the comments section below. Good.
So that's the movement phase. And now the psychic. Right now, so the weird boy over here is going to smite the destroyer here. So just a normal smite going off on 5. And that's going off. So it's D3 mortal wounds.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Dead.
That's bad news. Bad news for this guy wanting to charge. I'm assuming that I can't shoot this guy. Although, is he pretty useless now? He's shot his load.
No, shot his load all over the place.
So I would say no because he's within 3. Is it 3 inches?
Yeah.
Look out, sir. So yeah.
And he's not the closest.
And he's not the closest, yeah.
That's cool. So Death Dread is going to shoot at these guys. He's within half range, so it's the Daka 5 weapon. Ballistic skill 5+.
Move that 1 out of the way for you.
Thank you very much. It's not a lot of hits. Right, so that's strength 5, toughness 4, so wounded on 3.
There's a piece of saving throws of 4. Shrugged them both.
Yep. So over yonder, we've got the Death Copters who are going to shoot at the Scorpec Destroyers. We're going to do the Copter Rocket profile first, which is heavy 2d3. That means we're rolling 4 dice because only 2 of them have those rockets, and that means that it's D3 shots on each of these. Okay, so that's 8 shots with ballistic skill 5+. Oh dear. Missed every single one of them.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was going to be difficult. You should have targeted the warriors.
So custom Mega Blaster now, Assault D3. So that's 2 shots. And then again it's hitting on 5s. 1 goes through. That's a strength 8, toughness 5, so that's 3. And that doesn't go through.
Like, are the Orc gods Gork and Mork?
Gork and Mork, yeah.
They need to have a word with the dice gods for you, dude. It's you either 6s or 1s.
Yeah, it's a very polarised dice roll today. Okay, so next we will look at the shooting of the killer cans.
Ooh, all the way over there, hidden in your deployment zone.
Right after this message. Right, so...
Right, before we start, let me just check what the HQ's got though, just with my upgrades and stuff. So I've got my Cantipet Cloak, Dynastic Advisors, Failsafe Overcharge, which was useless, and White Spirit. No, nothing helpful.
Excellent. Right, so the first one is going to be the rocket launcher on this killer can. He's going to be shooting at the Technomancer.
Yep,
Techromancer.
With his robot skateboard.
That's pretty damn cool. It's a heavy D3, so this for shots. 1 shot. And it's 4+ to hit. And that misses.
Oh, yes. My Necrons are not strong.
Okay, next one. This happy little fella has a Grotzuka. And he is going to hit. Well, it's a heavy 2D3, so we're going to roll for shots again. And so that is 4 shots to do. Once again, we're hitting on 4s. And only 1 hit.
Sorry, yeah.
Roll to wound. So it's a strength 6, toughness is 4. Okay, so wounded on 3s. It wounds. There is no AP.
So you throw a 4.
And it's a mighty damage of 1.
Oh, yes!
Bounces off. Okay, last one. Right, last one, Daka. So it's just the big shooter of this guy. Daka 5. So hitting on 4s. That is 4 going through. That's strength 5, toughness 4, so wounded on 3s. 2 go through.
Any arm piercing?
No armor piercing.
Okay, come on. 4, 5s, and 6s. Yes!
Well done.
Really
Shrug
is.
them.
Very good.
He's almost as useful as was it Azrael? No,
Oh, Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Yeah, he survived a lot.
He survived a lot. I've shot with the copters, haven't I? And they've not
Yeah.
done anything. And they've not done anything. Has this guy done anything? I think he's shot.
Isn't he all melee?
This one's all melee. That one's got 2 big shooters. Have I shot with him?
No, they've
Didn't
not
you?
shot
Who
him.
did you shoot into the warriors though?
That might have been at the start. I can't remember. If so, I've shot with everything and I've not done anything.
The way it should be.
And the killer cans are now going to charge in after that horrendous shooting phase. They're going to get in on 9. That's an 8. They can re-roll with here we go. And they're in.
Oh,
Nice.
damn. This is not going to go well for me.
Okay, so these guys have charged in and they've piled in. So now they've engaged the Necron warriors. Next is going to be the Death Copters charging these guys. They should be an inch away from my previous move. I think that looks a bit closer than an inch, but we'll say we need to get 1 inch to get in.
They do fails.
Heralds
12.
of the charge. Yep, they're in. Okay.
Is the aim here just to completely humiliate me? Just to shake it.
It's just a bit of close combat now, so Death Dreads are going to charge the Necron warriors.
Does that explode? That was touching.
It will do in a second. Yeah.
Once we've resolved all the charging,
Oh,
presumably.
it kills it.
Right, so we'll do this one first. Actually, how far away are we? We are 8 inches away, so that means 7 to
You're 7, aren't you?
be within an inch at least. So you need to charge with 7. Gets a 7.
He's in.
Can I charge across that?
You're a machine. You kick it out of the way.
Okay.
There we go.
Playing with your toys.
Playing with Chris's toys, technically.
And then Clanker. He's again 7. Roll down here.
You can roll wherever you want, man.
Thank you. 6 and 1 again. Okay, so
Ooh.
they're both in.
I think them warriors are going to die.
I don't think it's just the Warriors. I think everything's going to die. I don't think I'm going to survive. My aim now is just to try and score a point.
So what we need to do now, we've done all the charging. These guys are hanging back for when Chris drops his guys in for the party, which I assume will be there.
So the real question is, we said that you don't stick a flag on your objective marker. Were you on that at the beginning of your turn?
I was, yeah.
Okay, and we're scoring in the command phase, or scoring? We didn't really establish scoring at the end of the battle round.
Even if it's at the end of the turn, it's jumped off it. So
There's no flag in it though.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's jumped off. So
Yeah.
You may have misplayed that
So
one.
should I have? But I was on it at the end of my last turn. Should I have scored it then?
That was turn 1 or turn 2? On turn 2 now. So we scored from turn 2. We said, didn't we?
Okay. So I've jumped off it.
I will allow you to undo it if you want to. Control Z.
Should we do it? Roll a dice. Control Z.
No, that's fine. That's
Or
fine.
Just go. I mean, you're already 10 points ahead of me, and I can't see a way back from me. To be honest, you're about to score on this one. It's gonna get painful.
So would you like to do your what was it? D6? Yeah, D6 range roll, and then D6 mortal wounds on that as well.
Okay. D6 range.
Because you touched it.
That's
You know the
all.
rule. If
What
you
the-
touch it,
There's no point in doing range if I can't kill these guys with it.
that's true.
So
Yeah,
just
'cause it's only one unit.
D6 M's. Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
Okay, so the Death Copters are going to use the spinning blades. They have 2 attacks each, but for each attack they make 3 hit rolls instead of 1. And they are hitting on 3+. Oh, pause it.
Okay. Okay, so we've unpaused.
Thank
What
you.
is it that you had to go and run and read?
I had to check about the war, and the war gives
The what?
them... The war! Yeah, so that's giving them an extra attack each, and that extra attack does 3 hits. So it's an extra 9 dice just for calling the war.
Wow!
Okay, so we're hitting on 3+.
Quick question: do you want to roll here, or do you want to find a better place because you've got a lot of dice in your hands?
Yeah, I can barely hold it.
Do you want to roll them over here?
Okay.
I'm going to keep all this in because it's entertaining. People like to see this stuff.
Right, so hitting on 3s. I'll be right back.
So when you're making loads of attacks, when you've got to go and get your extra set of dice that are different colour.
Okay, so they're strength 4, but the spinning blades are +1, and the war.
Wow.
Has
Sorry.
made them another +1, so it's strength 6. So it's wounded on 3s. Good roll.
I'll say it again. You need when you've got extra dice because you've got so many damn attacks.
The kill team dice.
Yeah, nice. They're nice.
How many times do they kill team?
Never.
Never. Chris, have you got 12 dice?
Oh.
Oh, you did. You had 40 dice earlier.
Just watching them count out all those wounds very slowly.
So -1, so we're
Minus 1
sugar,
AP, yeah.
we're sugar them on 4s. So these were the ones that went through. 2, 4, 6, 7.
So 1 damage each.
That doesn't make it okay.
Are they 3 each?
Yeah.
One of these have got 2 wounds, haven't they?
Yeah, so one's down to 2, so he's gone. 2. Leaves us with 5, which means another 3, and then 2, which means one's got 1 wound left. That's right, isn't it?
Yes.
1 wound.
Damn. Because he's going to
Nearly.
hit back.
And it's the powerful guy you're
If you
leaving,
left
isn't
the
it?
power-
Obviously, I'm going to leave the
Yeah.
powerful guy. I'm also going to. Have you finished? Can I just reanimate that, man?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's 3 wounds and 3 wounds. 3 5s and 6s.
Next time use glacier mints, maybe. use actual real glacier mints, not these
Right.
pretend ones.
Indeed.
So we're gonna, as we've just said, sorry, we're gonna what's the word?
Retaliate.
Retaliate. We're gonna sort this first, just because there's so much going off over there.
We're
We're gonna forget.
Okay, so it's my Hype Flames Weak Blade. Weapon skills of 3, so hitting on 3s. Wounded on, so it's 7. Toughness is.
Oh, good question. Let's have a look.
So wounded on 3s. 1 went through. -4 AP.
Oh, it's got 5+ invul from the war. Where am I rolling? I'll do it here.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
No.
Oh, thank God. It's 3 damage, but you've only got 1 wound, so 1's died.
Oh, he's killed one.
Good.
Good
Soften you up. Soften you up. I'm not going to lie. At the start of this, I thought your orcs weren't going to do so well, but they're still here.
They're still here.
Yeah.
They're resilient. Disgustingly.
As this was a new model I've not really played before, it's got Living Lightning, which is at the start of the fighting phase. Enemies within 6 inches, you roll 1d6 for, and on a 4+ you get a mortal wound. So, as has kindly agreed to allow me to do it now, because it evens out, because it would have ended.
Well, we have a bit of a rule. If you've got a new model, and we allow excuses. If it's an existing model you played before, then it's your own fault. You've missed out. But
Yeah. And I can see that could have changed things because my Death Copter only had 1 wound and he could have killed that before I even started the fight phase. So that would have changed how it went.
Mm.
Yeah.
But because I'm not that nice, I'm letting Chris do it now.
And they're within 6 inches, so I'm going to roll for them as well.
Oh, I didn't agree to that.
So that's a 1, so it didn't work anyway. And then for these, 1 mortal wound to them.
Ah, that's what you get for being nice.
That's what you get for being nice. Advantage.
question: if you put is the wound on the guy in the middle?
Well, it's 1 unit.
Yeah,
I have
but
put it on the
You've
middle
done what
now.
I've done in the past, where if he dies, they fall out of unit coherence.
And then you've got to do your, and you can run away scared or whatever it is unit coherence is that we forget. We never
Well,
check.
the problem is now we
Whoops.
start learning about reading tentacles. We start getting them confused. Okay.
So,
Now fighting over there.
All right. Okay.
do you know?
Yeah, keep the camera rolling.
Keep the camera on. Don't need to pause it. You know what you're doing.
We've got it.
Okay.
Killer cans. They have
Killer
3
cans.
attacks base. They're at full strength, i.e. there's 3 models, so they get an extra attack, and the war gives them another attack. So quite a lot of attacks, and they're all going overkill on this happy little chap here.
Ooh. Oh, this happy little chap here.
This one here.
Yeah. The guy surfing the scarab.
That's it. And the killer cans, they hit on a 4+ because there's grots in there. They're not actually fully fledged orcs.
Oh.
Ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Okay, so that's a bit disappointing, but they have strength 8, but because of the war, it's strength 9, so they're wounded on 2s. 3 go through with an AP of -3,
Can't say that.
and it's 3 damage each.
Indeed.
You're telling me the Silver Surfer doesn't have an invul save?
No.
Really?
Yeah, he's really weak.
Hmm.
Because he's literally there to. He's your apothecary.
He's
isn't
apothecary,
he?
yeah.
So he's not
True.
really for combat.
Okay. So
Now there is something I can do with that, though, isn't there?
Yeah, you can pick him back up. Is that
I
right?
can reanimate him.
With a stretch. Have you got any command points?
Yes, I got 1.
oh, please no.
Is it 1 or is it 2? We'll find out
We'll find out
after.
After these messages. Well, I was going to consolidate towards the.
Well, you can. He's,
Hang on. So Chris is lying down now, and he's found it, and it's at the end of the phase. So you can still consolidate forward. Because does it say that you can?
1 inch away, so from where you left off, basically. So I'll take this out so you can consolidate.
So if we were doing competitive play and I wanted to be a horrendous person, I'd just consolidate and not let you come back in that space.
Yes.
I don't know if that works.
But it's within an inch of. You said, wasn't it?
Set up on the. If you do, then on a 4+, set that model back up on the battlefield as close as possible to where they were destroyed and more than 1 inch away from any enemy models.
Okay.
Oh, so out of combat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's fine then.
D3 wounds remaining.
So let me consolidate up, and then you can just put it back.
Yeah.
Out of combat somewhere else.
Excellent.
So, Mr. Rusty, no, Clanker. that's his
Clanker.
name. So Clanker is gonna nip in with his 4 death killer claw things.
He's a right clanker.
Hey. So he has this many attacks, and he's hitting on 3s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2s, but let's just be right. And the strength is 5, 6. Yeah, so strength's 12. That's it. Wounded on 2s.
Indeed.
So I didn't catch that. There were his reanimation protocols because the AP was too high. He couldn't save them.
Okay.
For those that are eagerly eyed watching what we're doing and want to, want to comment on our wrongdoings. Although we want you to, because we're not very good. Although we did beat Winters. Oh, sorry, we're back. Yeah.
This guy, I think he's Rusty and he's Clanker. So yeah, Rusty coming in hot. That's what we like to say on this channel.
Coming in hot.
Yeah.
3 pluses again, but with fewer dice because he's only got 2 claws.
And I'm not going to make any comment about drop dice because that's a different channel.
Well, they don't count.
Right, only 2 go through. What a calamity. Right, wounded on 2s. Do save.
Reanimation protocol. Escape dice don't count.
So slowly chipping away at the Necron warriors. A bit less progress than I would have liked, but that is the end of my fight phase. So I think, Chris, if you want to reanimate your horrendous...
So we said it was on a 4+, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, so let's hope for the best.
Drum roll.
Off.
That's a 3.
It's a 3. It didn't
Have
work.
we got a
And
bleep
you've got-
sound effect?
Yes, we have. And you've got no command points left because you've just spent
No,
it.
and I don't know if you can command point a.
Because it's a
Oh,
construction
yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So he didn't get to come back, which is a shame because then I could have reanimated. I could have brought back up to all of them.
So do they get to retaliate?
They do get to retaliate.
Oh,
Oh,
of
so
course,
it's not
yeah.
the end of the fight
Yeah,
phase.
good
Ah.
point. Very good point.
Quick, take it back. I'll re-roll it. Get to retaliate. There's not much point, but we'll give it a go. You never know.
This
one
guy's
doing
got
well.
one.
Mike managed to take him out and then explode him.
And this guy's not in combat either, is he?
No, he's not yet.
Can he heroically intervene?
He can heroically intervene, yes. So he can be if you want him in. Do you want him in?
I don't think we'll get the 3 inches, will we?
What do you mean?
Well, it needs to be in range of that, doesn't it?
You can go towards the closest, whichever you want him to go. Where you want him to go, which direction.
No, it's fine.
All right, leave him there. He's
Mainly
happy.
because we don't quite understand the rules of heroically interventions. Anyway.
Hopefully 10th will tell us.
Hopefully, yes.
Retaliation for the domination. So we're going to do 7 warriors going in here, hitting on 3s.
So, wounding on 5, sorry, I didn't catch it.
wow.
Oh, okay.
3 wives, 3 wives,
Three
3 5s. All the wives, 3 5s.
Oh, it's got to make 3 3-ups, otherwise he's dead. And he's been punched to death.
Yes! Yes! Mother! Yes!
One more.
Sorry, I got a bit excited.
Rolled off dice tables don't counted.
Escape.
Why
Escape
we
dice don't
That's
counted.
why we need a dice box.
So-
Right, so he dead.
Does he?
Does he
Explode.
explode on a 6? Let me just double check. Is it 6? I hope it's 6. I'm building suspense.
That was me placing it there.
On a 6, it explodes 3 inches D3 balls.
Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? That's cocked.
Right, roll it again.
That's a 1. There's a 2. Even Chris trying to offhand roll it to a 6 didn't work.
Okay.
Right, so he goes.
Goodbye.
Well done, Clanker. You did.
He fell to a warrior.
He was an absolute clanker and he's out of
Melee.
here. Beautiful model. Very, very nicely done. Well, he's not even finished yet, is he?
No.
Nope.
No.
It's beautifully done to this
Right.
point. Okay, right.
So we're doing the 3 coming into here, hitting on 3s.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. 3 went through. Strength is 5, toughness 4 and 7, so 5s. None.
Oh, could have done that.
And then we've got 4 coming in here.
Okay.
Hitting on 3s. Escape dice don't count. 4.
This is 5 for those guys.
So 5s. Nothing landed. But
Nothing.
they did the job where it mattered.
Hello.
And now that's finally the end of Orcs turn 2.
So we need to look at your points now.
Do we?
Well, you've got.
Oh yeah, because you changed it. You said at the start of the command phase, and now
So,
you said at the end
well-
of the turn.
Well, if you think about it, you can't score at the. I suppose. Okay. No.
You said command phase.
Yeah, we'll go command phase.
Yeah.
I thought we said about these ones, but yeah, command phase. It's fine. It makes sense.
So I've scored that one, but not that one.
You've not scored that one, Chris. Oh no, you.
Because I was on that at the start
beginning,
of the
okay.
command phase. So I've either scored that one and not that one, or I've scored that one and not that
You've
one.
scored that one then, because you were on it at the beginning of your command phase.
So we're saying beginning of command phase.
Beginning of command phase,
Okay.
like in the normal rules.
Like in the rules.
Technically, we're playing ninth as ninth should be because they don't have the flag in the
But then,
objective.
does he score that when he sets it up?
Oh, we're back again. There we go. So, well, I initially said that it blows up and then you score it.
Okay, so he scored that then because it blew up. So this is the complex card because you've got different ones scoring at different times.
Well, that's
That
what
one blew up, so he
initially.
scored.
So I originally said that it's the end of the player's turn, and then both of you said command phase. So we said no, we'll go with the command phase.
Well, that's just how it is in the rules. No?
I know.
Right, so he exploded that, so he scored
Yeah,
the points,
so he scored
which
that
I've
one.
actually already put on the board.
Okay.
10 points.
And then he scored that at the start of his command phase, so that's another 15 points for Azza.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't mind either way.
No, that's how we're playing it.
Let's do it.
15.
15. Middle objective is 15.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, look up.
Middle objective, 15 points.
Okay. Yeah, so you're got a slight lead on me there.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A couple of points ahead.
1 or 2. What is it? 10, 20, 35 points to 0. On to...
So,
We can put what we've done. Yeah.
so just to confirm, that's 15 points. Those are 10 points.
Yes.
But you can't score in your own object.
Yes.
In your own deployment zone. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Idea being you're supposed to be fighting over the middle one, but it's not quite happened. You brought the war like orcs do to the
You
Necrons
got to
door.
bring the
Whoa. Okay, so what's happening now? I forgot.
On to Necron's turn 2.
Necrons turn
We're
2.
back after command phases and moving the troops! So, finished movement. Basically, what we did was we dropped in the flayed ones back there so we could do the thingy. So, we'll do that in a moment.
Yep.
In fact, we'll have to do that now. So, I need to roll a d6 for how many mortal wounds?
Range. Oh yeah. Sorry, mortal wounds.
So,
sorry.
2 mortal wounds. The flayed ones have, I think they've got, is it 1 wound each? Yeah, 1 wound, so two of them died. Okay, so we've done that. I've scored 10 points. Thank God. I scored something. And now we can move on to shooting.
Yes.
So there's only one unit that can shoot, which is this one. So it's going to shoot into the death copters. So that's his plasmic lance. Then it's D3, which I've already rolled
You
for.
can shoot into combat.
Oh, they're in combat. I can't shoot. They're in combat. Oh, I can't shoot anything. Okay, can't shoot. Thank you, Azza, for pointing that out.
Can he shoot these guys?
No, it's an 18-inch range. Thank you, Azza, for pointing that out. Ruining my day. On to charges. Right, so Overlord may as well just charge. Question is, does he charge around here or charge into here? We'll charge into here because it's more likely to happen. Do you want to do any Overwatch? Oh, you can't, they're in combat.
Yeah.
So he's joining them. 7 inches.
Very brave.
I thought so. These are going to join in as well. So they are separate units, so I'll have to roll for each of them. So roll for the quick spell first. We're in. I think it's safe to say we don't need to actually do any
Well, you
rolling.
don't need to roll.
So they're in. Good. We do the new charges first, yeah?
Yep.
Right, shall we do over here then?
Okay.
So new charges here, so we'll do the Crypt Thrill first. Maybe I'm just excited to have a go with this Crypt Thrill. Crypt Thrill then, so he gets the buff of Seismic Vigor because he's in range of the Cryptech unit. So it's 6 attacks, hitting on 3s, and we're using the Scythe Limbs. So that 3 went through. Strength is 5, toughness on those is 5. So wounded on 4s. 2 went through, it's -1 AP.
Yep, 4 plus save. Both saved.
Oh, so the Crypt Thrill is useless. That's what we've established there.
Wait, is that the Tin Can guy?
That's the Tin Can guy.
Oh, this guy's
Not that helpful.
Oh.
And then we shall obviously use him. So it's at the start of the fight phase. Again, we roll the d6, don't we, within 6 inches. So let's do that.
Is that your living lightning or whatever? Yeah.
So again, in there within 6. So we'll roll 1 on here, 4 plus. So 1 mortal wound. 1 mortal wound. So it's 2 wounds.
Copter, the Death Copter on 1 wound, and you got a. What are these guys called?
Killer Can.
Killer Cans on 2.
Yep, and then we've got what's the name? I'm just looking for it now. So we've got his lance. He's just going to come in and just try and take out that last one.
Poke him in the eye.
So he's hitting on a 3, hits. Wounded on a strength is 4, toughness is 5, so 5s. Didn't work. Okay, so that's the attack there. So do you want to retaliate on those and then we resolve?
Yes, because you get to go first this turn. Does
that make sense?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Let me work out what I've got. So the Death Copter is going to fight back against these. Oh no, that's 2 different units, isn't it?
2 different units.
Right. Who shall I do?
We'll be right back.
No, I'm going to do the HQ.
Okay.
So he's got currently this many attacks with a weapon skill of 3 plus.
I don't like this angle. It's crotch cam.
Yeah. So strength of the blades is 6 with the war.
Wow.
This is 4.
Toughness is 4, so we're doing 3. Oh, that's nice. 6 go through.
4, so sugar on 5s. All of them go through, so he did. So I've got 5 attacks coming in, so I've got some buffs. So 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. Bloody hell, that's not good, is it? It's 5, 6, 7, 8. Toughness is 5. So wounded on 3s. All 3 went through. It is -3 AP.
Okay, let's have a look.
So 6s.
But 5 plus invuln because of the war.
Wow. Oh.
1 goes through.
D3 damage. I'm hoping to get a 2 or higher. Oh, for crying out loud! Down to 1 wound left on that.
Would have been ramshackle anyway.
Did absolutely bloody nothing.
Right, I'm attacking with 2, so retaliating with 2 of the Killer Cans. They've got 3 attacks base and another 1 each because of the war. And they are hitting on 4s because they are grots.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, dude. That was pretty bad.
Okay, well the strength of that is strength 8.
Toughness 6.
So 3s. Okay, that goes through with an AP of -3.
So sugar on a 6. Oh, everyone will save a 4. Didn't help. For sake.
3 damage.
3 damage. Okay, so I've got 6 wounds down to 3 wounds.
Okay. So we've attacked back with these guys, but I can also. I've realised on only doing 3 damage to him, I probably should have attacked with him. So I'm now going to say that in the fight back phase, he's going to attack this guy. So that's 3 attack space with 1 extra 1 for the wow! 4 plus. Drop dice are not valid. Strength is actually 9, it's not 8 like I said before because of the wah.
So 6.
So 3's to wound. Damn. All 3 go through, so that's 4 plus invul.
Shoved 1, took 2.
3 damage each.
Damn, he did.
Dread is going to now fight against these guys. He does 3 attack space plus 1 extra attack for each claw, and then an extra 1 for the wah. See how unenthusiastic we get as it goes on. 3 pluses to hit. Not bad. So it's strength 12, toughness 4 on the warriors. Yep. Wow. Okay, so only 3 go through, AP minus 3.
Can't save it, so reanimation protocols. 2 get back up, and only 1 goes.
Those warriors are hard to kill.
Yeah, that's the only thing in the game that's hard to kill.
They're easy to kill, they're just hard to stay dead.
It's the wrong type of weapon for them. These are very good against tanks and things.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, the whirly blades should have been on this because it's lots of low damage attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things do look like they would rip open a tank like a tin of tuna.
Yeah. And speaking of whirly blades.
Yeah.
Nice. After Death Copter is going to fight back against the Scorpec Destroyer. He's got 9 attacks going in with a weapon skill of 3 plus. Strength of that is going to be 6 with the wah. And toughness of that guy's 5, so wounded on 3s. 4 wounds to save.
Shrugged, and took 1.
Oh, down to 1.
Is it just 1 damage?
Yeah.
Just literally hanging in there.
Both down to 1. The grudge match to end all grudge matches.
Okay, so we're going to activate my plasma sight, which I forgot to do.
Is that the snail thing?
That's the snail thing.
Okay.
So it's a 1, so it blows up.
Oh.
Like, it doesn't do any damage to anyone, but it basically is destroyed. But it still goes off. And so it adds 1 to my attacks and strength characteristic of my hitty, which we're going to do now.
The guy with 1 health that's looking the wrong way.
He's running away.
So we get an extra attack, so that's 4 attacks we get now.
To be fair, that copter's looking the wrong way as well.
Let's try to back up onto it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, if I can't see you, you can't hit me.
You eat my dust. Although, look, there's a blade on the back of it, actually, so you're okay.
Yeah.
Right, it's 4 attacks coming in then. So weapon skill is 3s. So 2 went through. This toughness is
5.
so 3s. 1 went through. Minus 4 AP.
5 plus invul for the wah.
Ah!
He's safe.
Oh.
So that was pointless.
And your snail blew up as well.
So it's just my warriors then.
Yes.
Just your warriors to punch.
So okay, so we've got 6 of my warriors are going to attack in here on 3s. 2 went through, and then we're going to wound on 5s. 1 went through, so no armor piercing, just 1 saving throw.
Save of 3 plus here.
3.
Saved. And then we've got 6 coming into your cannons here, hoping to at least take 1 out. So again, we're hitting on 3s. That's a bit better. What's the toughness for?
5.
So 5s. So 2 saving throws, no armor piercing. Hoping for a 1.
3 plus to save.
Yes!
Oh.
So 1's dead.
Okay. Each one of these. So that goes down as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, so 1
So
carries
he's
over.
got 5 wounds, so he's gone down to 4. And does he explode?
Ooh.
They all explode, you see.
Oh.
Please explode.
Oh no.
Oh, it's a shame. Right, so that concludes our fighting phase. So that's the end of Necron's turn 2.
Wow.
And let's evaluate where we're at in this game to see if it's worth continuing or not.
Previously on Command Battle Win. This is what Chris had to say.
Joe has asked me if I want to concede, and I have said no, because we are not going to be the people known as the people who give up after 2 turns.
So we've had a little chat, and we're just gonna run through things. So what were you saying, sorry, Chris?
So looking really, resolving here, we're probably going to whittle down the destroyer. That's probably going to go. Come down to these two, but basically they're going to be tied up, so they're not scoring any points in the next turn. Do you score on these again? Or,
Yeah.
So as I would again score on that, I would score on my flayed ones over there potentially. If you don't take them out, you may take them out. There's 3 left.
Planning on smiting them. I mean, I've got 3 Mega Knobs and my War Boss in Mega Armor.
Yes. So let's be honest. Those 3 wounds, they're going to be shot off the table. You're going to start whittling these down a little bit more, or they're going to survive. But again, they're not scoring any points. We currently stand at 35 points to 10. You will push that up to 45 points. To 10.
Command phase, presumably.
No, just for touching them in the next turn. And then command phase, no one's scoring that. And then you'll have shot me off the board by then, so I'm not going to score anymore. So at least I've not scored 0. That became my aim. But I think it's safe to say I can't pull this back any further. And we often find that if we know a very, very clear outcome, it stops being as fun.
Not for me.
Not for you. Although in the last 2 videos we've said
We just keep going.
yeah.
But it's getting late. we do have to do this around working and
If it wasn't as late, I'd insist that we carry on, because if those Necron warriors broke out of close combat, they could do a lot of damage.
Yeah. So what, 5 inches, 6
I
inches?
think the mistake was not bringing a Royal Warden. Because if I brought the Royal Warden, I could have pulled it back out of combat and then shot. Because his ability would allow that. I'd have brought the Veil of Darkness, so I'd have picked them up and dropped them. But we didn't know what game we were playing when I was building the list.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that was my biggest error.
I think my biggest error was not putting the Death Copters over the warriors, because the Killer Can claws and the Death Dread claws are much better suited to higher wound units, because they do 3 damage each, whereas all the 3 damage going on one Necron warrior is complete overkill and a bit of a waste, whereas loads of chops with those spinning blades on the Death Copters. So probably got that bit the wrong way round. If I wanted a more efficient way of winning.
The orcs aren't efficient. They're
not.
They just do it.
Don't forget, we've got all these guys down here who haven't actually done anything in the game.
They've just been holding the ground.
I was expecting these to come in on the back line, but I was kind of expecting to have to deal with it, because if maybe it was a bit more even in the midfield, then fighting over this would have been a big deal.
Well, I mean, the whole point was to get you, both of you, in the centre and tie you up in the centre, whilst obviously defending your deployment, or what was your deployment zones.
Yeah.
But you just did what orcs do best, and you just went.
I mean, that's exactly what I did in the last game.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're seeing an orc tactic.
Yeah.
You've got to do it, because otherwise you just get shot. That's why I was a bit worried about having nothing in the midfield, which is why we ended up putting some nice terrain in here in case I got shot. But I think probably the biggest thing that swung it was Chris opting to go second.
Yeah. Normally it's a good move, but this time it wasn't.
I guess mainly because of how these burner objectives worked. That was.
I don't think I anticipated you jumping on them
straight away.
Yeah.
Well, I thought if that was one of the only ways to score points, I was going to have my Death Copters, because you can set them up high in the sky, it's called, and then you can swoop down with them on turn 2. But I thought, let's get them as far up as possible. Yeah. Hit the big red button, get to the objective. As soon as just before. I don't know if you noticed, I measured to see whether it was in range that I could get it turn 1. And that's why. And then obviously this guy's here, the weird boy, so he can do dash jump, send things forward.
So what I thought you were going to do, Steve, for turn 1 was you'll move up but not do anything meaningful, and then when I move forward I could then shoot you and attack you, but obviously this time it just didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that game. That was actually quite a fun game, so thank you, Joe, for coming up with the sort of the narrative story.
So in terms of the game mode, I would probably change a few things. I would probably put the ability to probably score in your own objective mode. The idea was to make you move away and come out of your deployment zones. I would also make the secondary objectives respawn at the beginning of each battle round.
Use maybe like scatter dice.
And if I'm honest, I think having the ability to score them turn 1. Go in first, and if it was like the full size table and we were quite far away from them, maybe that would have worked a bit better. But
if I'm honest, I think I might have said scored on turn 2. No. I've got it on Google Keeps.
Okay.
No, I didn't say it to you guys. No, because that's the original. Yeah. So the original idea was basically there would be 6 of them, and you would either pay to sabotage it, so the next person you get mortal wounds, or you pay to basically do the D6 burner objective sort of things. But I felt that was a little bit. I had loads of ideas, but the idea is you're supposed to sabotage it for the next player that comes along to take it.
You don't want to make it too complex.
No, I tried to dumb it down, but I think it was as complicated as it is.
Yeah, and if there's more objectives, then playing those, it's sabotage.
Yeah. So I did. I thought of ways of secretly sabotaging it that you would write it down and stuff. I was just trying to. Tempest War sort of started vibes of it, and I was like, I've got a couple of ones that are a lot meaner and a lot easier than this.
So if anyone's got any suggestions on how we could improve, then comments below. But we hope you've liked it and enjoyed watching.
Well, this is our War Spanner games, wasn't it, that we used to call them at one point? In fact, actually, sorry, the D6 objective thing is taken from the Horde mode that we used to do.
Yeah.
That's the same. I think they're the same things.
And that was influenced by the original terrain crate rules.
Yes, yeah.
In the old build instructions, you'd roll a D6 and then, like, on one number, like a tyrannage would come out.
Yeah.
We played something similar. We didn't film it, but with the Orks.
Yeah.
You did a similar kind of game before.
I've got a great idea for a game for you two to play and me to be the Dungeon Master.
Excellent.
Or whatever it would be called in the Grimdark Master.
Crusade Master.
The Crusade Master, maybe? Yeah.
Or the Border Action Master, I don't know. If we say Border Action, we put it in the title and get lots of views.
Probably people get very excited.
And let's just talk about the game board itself, because the game mats are from gamemats.eu.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is, and we've done a split map, so we're using 2 different mats. So we're, just so the board's set up a bit more, sort of like the Orks of setting up camp with the Awakening. So that was quite nice. We've got some bases on the trees, and these were provided by my cousin Jordan. So shout out to Jordan, who probably doesn't watch, as well as the hills, which are old school Games Workshop hills, probably from Warhammer Fantasy.
They look it, don't they?
Yeah, but they fit in quite nicely with this map from GameMat.eu.
Yeah.
So
thanks to them.
Yeah, thanks to them for sending us that. And then Joe, you've painted up a lot of this scenery, haven't you?
Yeah, some of the Necromunda stuff. Yeah, I really like those because you can build them.
Yeah,
different varieties.
A bit modular. We used it to sort of create a bit of a barrier and stuff. We quite like that. And then I've painted up some of the bits at the back. So the silo isn't quite finished, but it's going for quite a dirty look. And then obviously some of these pipes, it's a mixture of mine and yours.
I like the fact that whatever this is, the digger type thing, is grabbing something deep from below. Maybe some new orc babies. That's how they pull them out from the depth. Like Lord of the Rings, exactly like Lord of the Rings.
It's a different game, Joseph.
Yes, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your mums, move the troops.
Move the troops.
What the other stuff would say? Move the troops. War.
War.
Bye.